Hello, everybody. Cyanesque111 here, and welcome back to more Civilization VII. We are entering the exploration age as Tecumseh, who is now leading the Shawnee, as was the case in real life, the real historical timeline. We will decide our legacies once this whole deal has been done, with the words "the exploration age has begun" passing. Okay, so we did get a scientific gold age, the Great Library Golden Age. I'll select that, and we get plus 14 science for the codexes in antiquity we got there. That's going to be useful. Not really much we can do other than get an economic attribute point. And I'll get a militaristic attribute point and a cultural attribute point. We can change our capital to whatever we want, although I doubt it's going to be Ravenna, given that it's all the way up there. I'll change Missoria to the capital and rename it Sila-Kofa. Cahokia is going to remain a city, and that's that. We got Ravenna from a crisis that we got during the Antiquity Age. Near the end of it, in fact. I'm not really sure what I'm going to end up doing with Ravenna just yet. If I can't think of anything, then I might go ahead and give it back to Benjamin Franklin. Gotta make sure I give the city resources to the cities. Oh, wait. We'll need to get education researched for the scientific legacy path. Where's that at? Okay, it's right down here. I'll need to get cartography, astronomy, feudalism, and guilds researched beforehand. Before I can move on to that. He Simekofi. It's a Shawnee unique civic. I'll do a Tasa and see what that does for arranged units. Got attribute points to spend. I'll do plus 5 combat strength against independent powers and city-states. Lots of opportunities to build many exploration age buildings. Though it is gonna involve a lot of overbuilding. On top of our current antiquity era buildings. Had to think of what I wanted to say for a bit. I'll do feudal monarchy. Gotta get that population up there somehow. And something that I want to start focusing on is getting some settlers trained so I can settle over here to distant lands. With all of these mountains revealed up there and this other mountain tile down here that I somehow also discovered. Part of me still thinks that it's because of that Mount Everest natural wonder we discovered some time ago. It is likely, since this is my first game where I discover Mount Everest. I'm gonna move into the open ocean, even though I know my cog is gonna get damaged. I'm not a fan of it, but whatever. Okay, just wanted to check to make sure it wasn't damaged by any natural causes. As expected. But I gotta get around that property line somehow. I gotta save up my influence for any city-states that I want to befriend. Like Kanauj of the Pratihara people that I've seen just now. They are already friendly with me, but it is gonna cost more influence in the exploration age than in the antiquity age to befriend them and to add influence to the project.
One small twig combined with others makes a bundle.
We get our first Shawnee unique civic completed, and now look at all this. The Shawnee has 4 different civics that we can work towards. And we get the Serpent Mound Wonder to build right off the bat. Though I think for now we should go ahead and focus on some of the exploration civics, like Piety and Economics at some point. I may want to go ahead and have this cog rest up before it continues. Mawaskawe. Scout. Base yield +4 food. +1 gold for each adjacent resource. It says that twice for some reason. Must be placed on vegetated terrain, not adjacent to another. Mawaskawe Scout. And it's ageless, so that means we can build this in any age we want. So long as we meet the requirements for it. There's a flood in Ravenna. Okay, I'm wondering if there are any unique improvements that Ben Franklin has made in Ravenna. It doesn't look like it, unfortunately. But I will happily build one of these other improvements right here. It doesn't look like anything was damaged from the flood. I'll do plus 20% food for 10 turns. And we got the Bread Dance Civic, which is unique to the Shawnee. Though, it'll only work if we have farming towns and fishing towns, respectively. I'll do it. So that means I'll have to get the town focus for Chickasaw over to fishing. Yep. Since we have a couple of fishing boats. Changing seasons. As farmers return from their fields, the Shawnees gather for the bread dance. Women lay cakes of corn next to meat from the hunters. Food grown and food gathered. Life nurtured and life taken. The people dance, sing, and give thanks to the earth's bounty. For the earth's bounty, I meant. That keeps them fed and provides for their futures. The forests are rich with game.
There exists beyond the world.
Let's make the most of that forest. And woodcutter. I gotta take care to not overbuild on the Mississippian unique improvements I've built during the Antiquity Age. They still could play a role in how well I do in the exploration. All glory and respect to us from Kanauj. Shawnee does have potential of befriending the city-state, becoming their suzerain. I don't want to build over the pot cop. I want an observatory, since that'll yield us more science per turn. I thought the town's extents could reach farther, but no. Already I'm seeing coastlines over here. I knew I was gonna see them eventually, given that mountain right there. Gonna have to get that cog out of the open ocean as soon as possible.
I take refuge in the Buddha. I work.
The journey over there was pretty rough. Pardon the pun. And, quite unexpectedly, the mountain turns out to be connected to the coast directly. Okay, I still gotta work my way towards education to progress further down the Enlightenment path that I have going. Okay, they're all woodcutters. Doesn't really matter. And look who we've met. Himiko, Queen of Wa. Neutral greeting, since she is a power from distant lands. There's no cities from distant lands so far, and I led my cog into an open ocean, so it is going to take some damage. Alright. Okay. Espionage. Oh, why Benjamin Franklin? With the espionaging. Don't know why you keep doing me wrong like that. Did get me another city resource. I'll definitely need to get some settlers down here if I want to make an effort at getting some colonies to any of the islands that I explore. Oh, that's a shipwreck. Famed musicians have begun lining up at a misanthropic artisan's door. The musical instruments she shapes from driftwood are as much a work of art as the sounds they produce. Let's listen to the music and get some happiness towards our next celebration. Oh, flood in Rio Negro. What is it now? Ibn Battuta. It's him this time. Am I gonna have to start counter-spying at some point if there are gonna be so many espionage missions against me? Okay. Enough playing around. I've got to get a settler down here so I can have it be ready to start settling on any of the lands that I may come across. Okay, so this is coastal, so my cog's definitely not getting damaged this turn. Okay, I don't know how much damage settlers are gonna take from ending their turn in the open ocean. Probably more than the cog. So, do I risk it even? No idea.
The master and apprentice.
Is this a coastal? Okay, it looks like a coastal just like all of these, so... Oh, shipwreck. But I gotta have my cog heal if I want it to last any longer. Ada Lovelace still wants to form an alliance with me? I don't know how many times she's tried it on me this past game. But my answer is still gonna be no. Growing pains. Accept the necessary consequences to make up for the gold I used to purchase the settler earlier. Okay, so feudalism is what I have to research before I have education available. Pray that it will be soon. A settler from Pachacuti. What's it doing here? Alright, I think I can have my cog go over to that shipwreck right there. What's left of a ship is kept company by the crustaceans picking at bits of metal and flesh. These scavengers make it hard for the dead to sleep. Ha. Dead will be permanently sleeping, given the context. Harvest the crabs or search the wreck for valuables. Food and gold for Silakofa, it is. Okay, it's not as much damage as I thought it would be, but still kind of frightening. The sooner I research shipbuilding, the better. Okay, gristmill is recommended by science. It'll build over the bath. Thankfully not the Golden Age library. So much more rough seas damage. Are my settlers taking? Will it even make it? Is the question. If not, then that's a few hundred gold down the drain that I most likely will not be getting back. Still have hope, and the Kosi River is the one that's flooding now. Dang. Oh, what is it with all the espionaging? Well, I cannot counter-spy. Most likely because I don't have the available tech or civic for it. Which one? I am unsure yet. May need to look at the trees for how I can get counter spying unlocked.
Wealth circulates.
Another shipwreck. A renowned inventor has been pulled from the sea. They claim to have been on the verge of a monumental scientific breakthrough, but all their equipment was lost to the waves. Help the inventor rebuild, or leave the inventor. Minus 100% production for 2 turns in Silicofa. So that's saying that I don't get any production in Silicofa for 2 turns, given that it's at 100%. Challenge complete, discovery's 50. I got that a bit late from going into that shipwreck, but I will help the inventor rebuild. The inventor's work has led to significant advances, but the journey of discovery has barely begun. I am going to do Miaska Latowiki. However you pronounce that. It's still very much mystery how you pronounce most of these foreign things. But we can create a religion now, at long last. And my religion is going to be this weird looking flower thing. And my religion is going to be named Shawneeism, because it is by the Shawnee. I find it a fitting name. I'll do Apostolism. +2 relics for first-time conversion of another civilization's settlement with a wonder from any age. And for the founder belief, I'm gonna do Sacred Herds. For +1 science for every grassland tile in other civilizations' settlements following your religion. And there. Holy Remnants is the narrative choice we get from that. Workers have stopped to gather and stare. Within the recesses of a hollowed-out altar, the team has unearthed a once-forgotten golden relic, a remnant from the origins of the faith. If we choose this, we get the lost gold relic. Relic is relic. +2 culture and +2 happiness from the lost gold. Narrative choice. The ground quivers. As the earth wages war on humanity, many fear that these disasters are signs of the master of life's rage. Those who once doubted the prophet's teachings have now become believers. Tecumseh welcomes these new adherents, then sends them out once more to share their discovery with the world. Now we gotta have 4 settlements following my founded religion for the story to continue. Oh, they're so close. I think they're just barely gonna make it. But still, all we can do is hope that they make it safely. Well, semi-safely. I don't want them to get hurt too much.
The king established order.
Okay. They've made it to this island safe and sound. Even though they're not looking too hot right now, given how much the high seas tormented them. And I can finally research education. Though it's gonna take 11 turns to do so. But it is for the Enlightenment path. Oh, why do you have to flood again, Kosi River? Man, oh man. Getting a little old, if I do say so myself. There's not really a whole lot I can do with that extra silk resource I've gotten. I suppose while I'm thinking about it, I might as well go ahead and get a few missionaries. Where can I get missionaries from? I know I can get them from temples once they're completed. Something I'm missing? Huh? Oh, so it's a Shawnee unique missionary called the Hoche or Hosi Epkilini. I'll get this unit in Silicofa so my religion can start spreading. And I can in turn complete this quest for having 4 settlements following my religion. Ancient Wisdom. The Hosi Piccolini readies his gear and his medicine bag. Many await his words and counsel. So do those who have not opened their eyes to the world's true nature. He must travel abroad, clearly, if he wants his religion to spread far and wide. But not right now, since I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this part off right here. I honestly can't believe my settler was able to make the trip from coast to coast to this very island right here without taking too much damage. This cog, I would say, fared marginally better, but it's still pretty clear that I'll need to do some more research on how to properly build ships before I can safely settle more cities on these islands right here. But that is going to be a tale for another day. Until then, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!